Hey man, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. 80K is back on the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So if you have been toying with the idea of getting the Chase Sapphire Preferred, we got a bonus increase. You could now potentially get 80,000 points as a bonus, provided that you can spend at least $4,000 on the card in the first 3 months of having it. Those 80,000 points at the very least going to get you $800 in cash back. But for most people, you're probably going to want to use those for travel. Use 80K points through the Chase Ultimate Rewards travel portal. You get a 25% boost on the value of those points, so 80,000 points going to equal $1,000 worth of travel. And then, of course, there are Chase's travel transfer partners where you could take all those points and transfer them into the frequent flyer or hotel program of Southwest, United, Hyatt, Marriott, and there are others on that list as well. And potentially, you could get even more value out of them there. This is one of my favorite kind of bonuses because this is a card with a $95 annual fee. So when you have such a big bonus opportunity on the front end on a card with a pretty modest annual fee, that means you're getting a ton of value without having to pay a ton to get it. I always wonder how long it takes the credit card companies to actually break even and then eventually make a profit on a card like this when they offer this much of a bonus. I'm thinking it's got to be for sort of the average customer, at least 4 years. If you are someone that carries a balance sometimes and maybe even pays late once in a while and has to pay a late fee, well then maybe you would be quicker. But for the people that would watch this type of video, I'm sure you are someone that does not do those sorts of things. So it's probably going to be at least 4 years before Chase would break even on you as a new customer, I would think, and maybe even longer. Anyway, Chase Sapphire Preferred. We have talked about it a ton on this channel. I always say I think it is probably the best sort of starter travel credit card out there on the market. If you're someone that is not quite sure if travel rewards are the way that you want to go, this card has a modest annual fee, so you don't have too much of a commitment, and it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you use your points and still gives you a generous reward on those points regardless of how you use them. And that's not always the case with all travel credit cards out there. So with this one, yes, you have the travel options. You can go through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal where you're going to get that 25% boost on the value of your points, and you have that sort of all-in-one booking portal where you can do your flights and your hotels and your car rental and everything all in one place. So if you prefer that, that's a good way to go. You have the travel transfer partners where you can transfer your points into a loyalty program, perhaps one that you are already part of and earning points on. But if you kind of start to go down that road and you feel like, this isn't really kind of working for me, you can just do cash back and you can get a penny per point on those points, which is going to be better than what you can do in most other travel programs because they're going to give you sort of more value on the travel end. But if you decide to just cash out, it's usually going to be at a worse rate, less than a penny per point. So Chase gives you a lot of flexibility and you can feel good about what you're going to get in terms of value for your points regardless of how you use them. And then of course some people use the Chase Sapphire Preferred as sort of the anchor of what is known as the Chase trifecta, where you get multiple Chase credit cards, combine the points together from all those cards, and then put them through the Chase Sapphire Preferred account so that you can get that extra 25% through the travel portal, or you can use those Chase transfer partners. Now remember, you need to have either the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Chase Sapphire Reserve on the consumer side in order to use the travel transfer partners or to get that extra 25% in this case through the portal. So if you have the Chase Freedom Unlimited or the Chase Freedom Flex or both, you can earn points through them, but if you don't have one of the Chase Sapphire cards, you're not going to be able to access those travel transfer partners. So ideally, you have one of the Sapphire cards, and then you have the Chase Freedom Flex and or the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and you combine all your points together. So not only can you earn more in certain purchasing categories by having all of those cards, but then you can redeem them through the Chase Sapphire Preferred account in order to get more value through the travel portal or to access those travel transfer partners. Now, if you're getting the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I definitely would say that you should get other Chase cards in order to maximize the value of this card and to maximize your various purchasing categories across all of the cards. But even if you chose the Chase Sapphire Preferred as a standalone card, not a bad choice. 3 points per dollar on dining, 3 points per dollar on most streaming services. You're going to get enhanced rewards on travel depending on how you book it, whether through the Chase Travel Portal or other travel that you spend on the card. You have a potential $50 hotel credit if you book through Chase Ultimate Rewards. You have a 10% anniversary bonus every year where you're going to get 10% in points of the amount that you spent over the previous year, which means if you spent $10,000, for example, you would get an extra 1,000 points on your account anniversary. And then you've got good travel protections and insurances with this card, including trip delay insurance. You've got baggage protection or baggage insurance. You've got pretty good auto rental insurance on this card as well. You've got extended manufacturer's warranty. So a lot of good extras here as well. Anyway, $80K, you're rarely going to see a bonus higher than that on the Chase Sapphire Preferred, so if you've been thinking about getting it, now might be the time to do so. We've got a link to the card in the description and in the comments below. If you want to use our link, we'll get a little extra something, which I will appreciate, but of course I have no control over you physically, so you can do anything that you want. Questions, comments, put them in the comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching, and as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you're not going to leave a comment or you're not going to go to the website, the next video for you to watch right there.